This is the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast. Here's Rick Ucchino and SP3 on the Believe Podcast Network.
What is going on, everybody? Good Thursday afternoon here on the Believe in Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. Rick Ucchino here as always. No, SP3 is not with me today, but don't you worry, I got double trouble here to replace him as we get set to run down the entire WWE Crown Jewel card coming at you live this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Reminder, it's an afternoon show. Don't do like I did the last time and completely forget and miss the first hour. Like I log on Twitter, what are people talking about this? Oh, shit. It's in Saudi Arabia. Damn it. So don't forget, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Imagine just rolling out of bed, eating breakfast, and then watching some bouts. I need to move out to the West Coast. I really don't. Joining me on the show today, we're back. The trio back and better than ever. If anybody has watched the AEW Collision review show over on Fightful's YouTube channel, it is myself, Iridian Fierro, and Cresta Starr. We have not been together in a month because I had some work-related obligations for the entire month of October, but we are back here on my channel, the Believe in Pro Wrestling channel, to talk about WWE for a change. So a little bit of familiarity, but it's a little bit different. Iridian, I missed you. How are you doing?
I missed you too, Rick. Oh my goodness. The post show has not been the same without you. Cresta and I will attest to this, but we're super excited. And we're going to talk
better without me. It's been better without me. Don't lie to me.
You give us so much format. Me and Iridian is this happened. It sucked. Thank you guys. Goodbye.
We're like, wait a minute. We got post-it notes. What's happening? We'll write down, but
write that down.
That's a good one. We'll do that next week. But literally, we missed you, and we're just super excited. Now we're going to talk about WWE. What? Very cool.
Now, Cresta, I know you are not the biggest fan of the Crown Jewel shows, so I do appreciate you coming on to talk about what do you call them? What did you call this show? And when I asked you to come on, what did you call this show?
You try to put me in a tough spot, but you lucky I'm a gangster. I call it the Saudi blood money show. I don't care. I'll get the updates. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Please don't get me fired. But that's just the truth. It's the truth. Sorry.
I don't care though. I will watch wrestling, and I would prefer to watch wrestling in the afternoon though. If we could get all the pay-per-views to start at 1 o'clock, so I can go to bed at a decent hour at night, sign me the hell up. I'm old as hell now.
I don't wake up till 2.
Well, if it's last night, so behind the curtain here, we're recording this on a Wednesday afternoon, but so last night was Halloween, right? Yeah, no, kids were not going to sleep. They were all sugared up. Got no sleep whatsoever. And then, today I'm sitting here at work and I'm like, why is my back killing me? Oh, that's because I was chasing around a 2-year-old dinosaur for 2 hours. That's why. That's what that was. That's what that was. And he would not stop running. He would not stop running all night. But when it came time to walk a mile back to the car, guess who all of a sudden needed to be carried? That 2-year-old dinosaur and his 4-pound bag of candy. That's why my bag is effed up today. Okay. So I'm old as fuck. I would love to be able to watch a pay-per-view at 1 o'clock so I can go to sleep at 8 because that's where I'm at in my life. But we have 8 matches on this card that we have to dive to, including the triumphant return of the pre-show match. I don't know why Sami Zayn is on the pre-show.
What?
Yeah, he's on the pre-show. We have that match to talk about. John Cena looking for his first singles match win, and I don't even remember how long, but it's been a hot minute. Cresta, you'll love this. We have 7 women competing on the show this weekend.
Ooh.
Both world championships are on the line, so we'll dive into that. Plus, Roman Reigns will be defending his WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship against LA Knight. Yeah, or maybe, oh no. We'll see how this turns out. But before we dive into all that, I got to thank our friends over at Bet Online. We would not be here without them right now. The last of the major pro wrestling sports leagues is officially off and rolling, and college basketball is getting ready to go as well. Bet Online remains your top spot for all your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL, they're all in full swing. Bet Online is your number one source for all your wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions. Get all the hoop betting action along with every sport available at your fingertips, both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head on over to BetOnline today and remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that is spelled BLEAV, and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. And we will start with our kickoff show. Sami Zayn against JD. Don't Google me. Iridian, this has got to be Sami Zayn all the way, all day, every day. He has been dealing with all the bloodline for the last several months now. Slightly disrespectful that Sami has put on the pre-show here against JD, but I feel like this match is going to cook. It's going to be really, really good. I think Sami Zayn should win going away, and may or may not set the tone for the bloodline, which has a big night. Or I guess a big afternoon for us here in the States.
I think it's very disrespectful to put Sami Zayn in the kickoff show. That man is a star. So I'm very confused. Like, he was one of the top baby faces of the company the past year. And now we got him in the kickoff show, the pre-show. What?
After he cut that promo on Monday?
What are we doing? That makes
you have this man talking about how, well, now that Kevin Owens gone, I'm going to prove that I'm a world title caliber contender, and he's wrestling. No disrespect to JD McDonough, the performer, like he's wrestling JD McDonough on the pre-show. He's wrestling JD McDonough on the pre-show. What are we doing?
You said
what are we doing?
No disrespect, but a little disrespect, right?
Well, he's not. He's still like this up and comer Mick Jobber guy. Like he's the Judgment Day's crony. Like, this man hasn't even been given Judgment Day colors yet. Like, does he have to change his name to Judgment Day to get into the damn group? Like, at this point. So I feel like whenever they decide to kick Damian Priest out, or Damian Priest decides to go babyface, whatever they've been teasing with him, because like he's pulling the whole, like, I'll smile when you look at me, but I'm pissed off at you guys. And he was pulling that with Rhea on Monday. Whatever they're doing with there, like, I think they're going to keep it at 4. Whoever ends up leaving, whether it's Rhea or Dom or whomever, JD will, like, he's like the call-up guy. Like, okay, you're in because we need to keep it at 4. We don't want to have to change the graphics and all this bullshit, right? So maybe, like, they don't want to do that. They don't want to upgrade it to 5, but somebody's leaving and JD will get in. But right now, he's JD McJobber. Like, he goes out there, he'll put on a good match, and he'll lose, and that's what I think he's going to do at Saudi Arabia. Iridian, who wins this matchup?
Sami Zayn, absolutely. Honestly, if he doesn't, I'm just not going to watch the rest of the thing. I'm not going to keep up because
you
I
out.
also respect that.
Like,
if Sami Zayn loses, Iridian's out.
I'm out of here. I also just follow along on Twitter, and if anything, I'll just get those matches on YouTube. So, like, I'm just going to stop. I'm logging off for the day if Sami Zayn does not win.
Cresta, Sami get the dub here.
I would love, first of all, that match graphic they have. JD McDonough's face is so unhinged. So unhinged.
Sammy's render here. He looks irritated to be in this match.
Yes.
This face just reads, "Motherfucker, I'm on what with who?" Like, that's what his face reads right here. Like, all the way.
JD is like,
every day.
I can't wait. I'm going to see you, and I likes you, and I'm going to eat you, and I'm going to wrestle you. I mean, honestly, unfortunately, there's always a possibility that JD could win because of Judgment Day shenanigans. I think we saw that on Friday. There's always the possibility that JD could win. If I agree with Iridian, I already am on the fence about watching this. If I watch the pre-show and Sami Zayn loses, I'm gonna go do something else for the rest of my day. Like, I'll catch the good matches later on, because it's that match, honestly. And I want to see what was going to transpire with LA Knight and Roman Reigns. I want to see what's about to transpire there, because there's always another oos. So I don't know. I want Sami Zayn to win, but it is quite possible JD McJobber might win because of the Judgment Day shenanigans. I don't know. I want to say Sami Zayn, but I'm like, girl, you counting out them shenanigans. There's 5 Judgment Day people and 1 Samuel Zayn.
Like, the fact of the matter that this is, if this was on the main show, I would give JD more of a chance to win. I think because it's on the pre-show, this is literally like house show match. Let's get the crowd going. Let's make them happy. Let's have Sami Zayn win. And let's just move on. If Sammy was facing an actual member of Judgment Day, if this was Sammy versus Dominic Mysterio, oh, Dom's winning all day, every day, because that's what he's been doing. But the fact that, again, that it's JD Mick Judgment Day's jobber, he's gonna lose this. That's what's gonna happen. I'm going with Sammy 100% on this one.
I'm going with Sammy 80%, just because, listen, I not every Saudi Arabia show has been canon, but there are a few that have been, and just in case, I have reasonable doubt.
Yeah, look, and this is something that SP3 and I talked about on Tuesday during our normal live stream, which you can hear every Tuesday at 2:15, except for this coming Tuesday because it's election day and I have to do my day job. But anyway, we'll figure out a time when we're actually going to be on. But most Tuesdays at 2:15, we're on live, and we were talking about, this show. To me, it feels like this is either going to be one of those where the action was great, but nothing really of any substance happened. Like the results were all very, business-like, or it's going to be, let's just throw everything up in the fucking air and create chaos, and we're going to have like 4 title changes. I feel like there's no in between on this show. I feel like there's absolutely no in between on this show. So it's all, the tone is going to be set by what I think potentially could open the show here, but that depends on what kind of a match we're going to get out of John Cena. I think, typically when you open up a show, you want the hot crowd. You want to put together something that's going to be fast-paced, energetic, ready to go here. Easy to get the crowd fired up, though, when you just hit John Cena's music and he's running down here. But again, it all depends, Iridian, on what we're going to get out of John Cena, and that has been his story. And I love this story because it's very real life for him right now. He is wondering whether or not he still has it. Can he go out there and put on a good performance? Because speaking candidly, and I think even he will admit this, he'll be the first one to admit this, his last few matches have not been John Cena level good. Like, they have been okay at best. Everybody wants to point to that match with Austin Theory at WrestleMania, which was not a bad match. It was just basic AF, and compared to the rest of the matches that we saw on the card that weekend, it was just easily came in last place and ultimately didn't do a whole lot for Austin Theory. So this is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. One, does John Cena still have it in himself to go out there and put on a good performance? And then if not, is Solo Sikoa, Iridian, in a spot where he can carry John Cena into a good performance, or at least a performance that doesn't suck?
Very interesting that you brought up John Cena.
That's great.
Absolutely.
What are you holding? What are you holding? I
don't even see what's in your hands.
It's gone. It's invisible, right? Clearly.
That joke will never get old. Anyway, go ahead.
I love John Cena. He is the person that got me into watching wrestling, and he's still why I watch wrestling today. So seeing the journey that he's going through right now is a little sad, because I feel like he himself has said it, like, okay, I haven't won anything or a singles match in like 2,000 days or something like that. I think it was around 2,000 days. And he is towards the end of his career, I feel like, right? Like in ring, performance wise. And these matches are the ones that people are going to remember. It's the last couple matches that he has, as, did he still have it when he was, going, or was he kind of like an Undertaker-esque and he just kept having matches after matches, and after he really couldn't have any more matches, right? I think Solo is capable of, shining as well. So I think that Cena and Solo can really have a fantastic match. I do think that John Cena still has it in him. Absolutely. I think he is just such a great performer. The fans love Cena, and it does warm my heart that people have now hopped on the Cena bandwagon after completely hating him for plenty of years. But yeah, I think that this is going to be a good one. I don't think that Solo's picking up the win. I think that Cena's going to get it. Yeah,
I think that would be a mistake, but I'll get into my thoughts on that in a second here. Cresta, what do you think?
I honestly, so I missed the whole John Cena hype train. I wasn't watching wrestling back when he was wrestling for real. By the time I did start watching, he had already done like movies and whatnot. He was on his way to be Peacemaker. I don't know. I think Solo Sikoa should go over this. It's very compelling, to see someone who was at the top of their game. It's the 16-time golden shovel champion, whatever it is. He was him, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of endearing to see, like, I want to know if I still got it. And if I don't, I don't. I think that it's the right thing to have Solo win because it is John Cena. And no matter what you do, you still built up a legacy. So anyone who does pin you, for the most part, the rub helps, except for Austin Theory. But Austin Theory got Vince McMahon stinking. That's a different story. So I think the right call here is to have Solo win to set the tone for the bloodline this evening. Well, that evening, rather. But I think at some point before John Cena does finish up for good and he goes special appearance only, he should have a good win or a run. But I don't think having him being intertwined with the bloodline is the way to go about it. So while it will be sad, it's a great way to start the show, but it's also, oh my God, I can't believe John Cena lost to Solo Sikoa. That if John Cena wins, I don't think it harms Solo Sikoa because, like, man, it's John Cena. Come on, it's John Cena. You lucky you even got a match with John Cena. You know what I mean? So I think it's a win for Solo no matter what happens, but I think Solo should absolutely get the win here. And if we do something with John Cena, it should be with like a Seth or Drew or someone like even a Kevin Owens, like someone who's at the top who, like, okay, if they take the L here and put John Cena over until John Cena takes that eventual L and retires, that's not too bad.
Somebody like an AJ Styles. I think an AJ Styles would roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Although, again, going back to just that idea of wanting people to remember how good it was that Iridian brought up, people want to remember the AJ Styles John Cena matches for the WWE Championship a few years ago, and who knows, that's lofty to try to live up to that. So maybe AJ is not the best way to go. I always thought the best match to have would have been a double retirement match, John Cena versus Edge, but obviously that's not going to happen now. So
want to play with his best friend Christian.
That'll be the double retirement match in another company about 3 freaking years from now. Not only should Solo Sikoa win this match, I think Solo Sikoa should pull a Brock Lesnar and squash John Cena. I think Solo Sikoa should just absolutely decimate this man, which is why I would not lead off the show. This is why I would not lead off the show with it, because this is one that's going to bring the crowd down. They're going to have their hero out there. He's going to trot out there. He's going to be the old gunslinger. He's going to be like, I still got this. I'm out here to prove to myself. Then you get the younger, hungrier, stronger, faster, more athletic guy who just beats the ever-loving piss out of this old man. That's the story that I think, because I think they can tell that story here and have John Cena. They still have time with John Cena because I don't think that actor strike is ending anytime soon.
Yeah.
If it ends tomorrow, either you could still do this match, and have John Cena just fade away and come back at a later time. But the longer that John is around, and they were talking about if the actor strike doesn't end by this week, then the studios are going to hold off negotiations until January, until after the holidays. So they could have John Cena for the next several months. You want to tell the John Cena, do I still have it? Like, let's overcome the adversity. You could do this match again at the Royal Rumble if you wanted to. You can actually do something out of this, build something up. Because John Cena, Roman Reigns, we've seen it. We've been there. We've done that. Let's use John Cena to make somebody. Like Brock Lesnar squashing John Cena, that didn't make Brock Lesnar. Like, Brock Lesnar was always dangerous. It was just shocking because John Cena never took those kind of L's. And that was back when John was still kind of in the latter stages of his prime. Like, this should be young gun coming out here and just beating the hell out of him, hitting him with not 1 but 2 spikes, pinning him and walking away, screaming his lungs up. Now, do I think that's what they're going to do? Hell no. Is that what they should do? I'm sorry, Iridian. It is what they should do.
I don't hate that.
No, because you know why? If I wasn't already unprepared to watch this, because Sami Zayn is in the pre-show, you're going to tell me the match after that, he's getting squashed? Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
I'm picking Solo to win. And I feel like they're gonna do some BS where they protect John because of some outside interference. And I don't that doesn't do anything for Solo. And that's like, I feel like Solo's winning the match. Losing to John Cena, I think that would do more harm than Solo winning it. but Solo has to win this convincingly, at least
Yeah.
without help, right? Without help. And look, John's been around for a while. He's been able to train. He's been able to get his body back in wrestling shape because, look, there is a huge difference between being in shape, like John Cena is, and then being in ring shape.
Yeah.
Huge difference. And this is what The Rock was talking about. It's like, I don't think I could get myself ready for a WrestleMania match last year. Everybody looks at it, was like, dude, you are made of sirloin steaks. And it's like, it ain't the same thing. All right. You have to get your cardio down. You have to be in the right. Like hearing Kurt Angle talk about the latter stages of his career where he didn't wrestle for the longest time and his like body like solidified and he just couldn't move the way that he used to. Like John Cena's kind of there. You look at John Cena, you look at Carlito, who has been wrestling but hasn't been wrestling that WWE schedule. He looks slower now that he's back on television wrestling some of these younger guys. So maybe John's able to loosen things up. Maybe he's ready to go out there and put on a good performance. But hey, if he doesn't think he can or they don't want to risk it, have Solo just eat his freaking lunch. I'm picking Solo to win. I think he's going to win with some help from the bloodline, but I would just love to see this match go 2 minutes. John Cena pick up a nice fat paycheck for flying overseas and laying down on the ground.
Thank you. Come again.
See ya. See ya, bye. And yeah, we'll see him on SmackDown in a couple of weeks when he comes back and helps out LA Knight or somebody who's getting their ass whooped, and then we'll get him back for the Royal Rumble because that actor strike is going to go on for a while. But I like that finish because whether they strike ends tomorrow or it ends in January, you can either do a longer story with John Cena or he goes out on his back and we don't know when we're going to see him again. Iridian. So I know you don't like it, but that's good business. That's what they should do.
I don't have anything else to say about John Cena. We'll just leave it at that.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
We have reached our shameless plug match of the evening, a fatal five-way for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler, who I interviewed this week, and that interview is available right now on this channel here on Believe in Pro Wrestling. Make sure to check it out. She was fantastic this week. They are all gunning for Mommy, for Rhea Ripley, and that Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Already in this match is going to be utter chaos. All of these women bring something different to the table, whether it's fierceness, strength, agility, athleticism. They all have the savageness of somebody like a Shayna Baszler, who I spoke to. I talked to her this week. Check out that interview here on the channel. There's a lot to like about this matchup. I don't think that there's a prayer that anybody other than Rhea Ripley walks away with that Women's World Heavyweight Championship, but the ride getting to the predictable outcome, it's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be so good. And I think this is definitely one of the must-see matches of the night. Like, if you don't watch anything else, this is definitely one that you have to, because Rhea Ripley could maybe lose her championship. Who knows? You got Zoe Stark in there who has really come up, and Raquel Rodriguez, who's always known to be a powerhouse, and of course Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler, who I absolutely love. I know that she's just going to kill it. Her and Rhea, the power in this match alone is just incredible. So I'm super excited to see what's going to happen, because I know that these women are not just going to go out and put on a regular show. They're going to try to steal the show. And I think that maybe Rhea, of course she's got to retain, but you never know. You never know. And I feel like this is going to be one of those pay-per-views where if you really want it to be memorable, you're going to have to change up some championships. But I don't think that Rhea's championship will be one of them.
Cresta, I called the second that Rhea Ripley won this Women's World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania this year, back when it was the Raw Women's title, or SmackDown Women's title, excuse me. The second that happened, I'm like, oh, well, she's carrying that bitch until WrestleMania next year. Like, she's going to be the champion. She's going to go on this long run. I had her pegged for facing Bianca Belair. It looks more like it's going to be Becky Lynch this year at WrestleMania, at least right now. I have been wrong before. Just 2 Tuesdays ago, I did a whole entire opening dialogue about how Becky Lynch is going to go on this really long NXT Women's Championship run. And before I could even get the damn audio feed on the podcast, she had dropped that freaking title. So maybe, you never know, things could happen here. Maybe they put the belt on Nia Jax to get some heat. I don't know. But like, I look at this, I look at this field, right? There's only 2 women on this in this match that actually get genuinely good crowd reactions every single week. There's only 2 women that are quote unquote over. It's Rhea, who's one of the top stars in the company right now, and it's Nia Jax because everybody loves to hate her. People still don't know who Raquel Rodriguez is outside of, hey, I have a nice smile and back muscles. People don't know who Zoe Stark is now that she's not Trish Stratus's Bobo, as spectacular as she has been, right? Like, people still don't know. I don't know who Zoe Stark is because they haven't really even given her a lot of character development. They took her off TV. And then Shayna Baszler, yeah, she's the baddest woman on the planet, but she still doesn't, she's not as hot as she was at the height of her NXT days. So it's like, to me, there's only 2 options in this. It's either you put the belt on Nia or you put the belt on Rhea at this point. I don't see any of the other 3. I still think Rhea wins it. I think she's going to win it. What do you think?
I agree. Rhea is definitely going to win this. I will say that first of all, shout out to Zoe Stark. She, like you said, she's done fantastic work.
She's great. I love her.
I think that her being in this type of match with these women, good on her. I am a Nia Jax apologist. I know people hate her. I love her. I do not care. Before you type, hey, what about I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. Nia Jax would get so much heat, but these girls are going to jump her. Shayna Baszler absolutely could, and she absolutely can. But I am not sure it's the right call to take it off of Rhea Ripley. She's just too hot right now. And like you said, Raquel Rodriguez, unfortunately, the way that she's been presented, much like with Shayna Baszler, when you were in NXT, you were her, you were she. When you got to the main roster, they neutered you so much that now that you're trying to get this push, people are like, nah. And that sucks. That sucks for a lot of the NXT people. I'll even throw DIY in there. Like Johnny Gargano was him back in NXT. He got to the main roster now, so it'd be a shock. But I agree with you, Rick, that the only people that get crowd reactions are Rhea and Nia Jax. I'm an agent of chaos. Put it on Nia Jax. It's believable that Raquel or Shayna could take it. No offense to Zoe Stark. She's almost there, but we still don't know a lot about her. I think realistically, Shayna could take it. It's probably going to be Rhea. Put it on Nia Jax. Don't be a coward.
So when Nia Jax showed up at the Royal Rumble this year, and everybody was like, oh my God, please don't tell me she's back. Please don't tell me she's back. Please don't tell me she's back. I was one of the very few people who was like, oh, please, for the love of God, tell me she's back.
Yeah.
Tell me she's back, because Nia Jax gets a reaction. They get the crowd. This is why I was begging for Lacey Evans to get more TV time. Is she my favorite person that's on television? No, but people love to boo the shit out of her, and that's what you need. You need dynamics. You need people who get a reaction. It's the we don't give a crap about you. I'm sitting here and I'm on my phone, right? Like that's the kiss of death, right? Like, I don't care that you're here. That's why I never buy into the, oh, it's go away heat. I don't give a crap what kind of heat it is. Is it hot in here? Great. Perfect. You're doing your damn job. Like, that's what Nia does. And if you put Nia up against Zoe Stark, if you put Nia up against Shayna Baszler, if you put Nia up against Raquel Rodriguez, she's going to get booed. And eventually the crowds are going to start cheering for the baby faces and not just against Nia Jax. You have to put, that's Nia's role. I don't want her to win the world championship. She don't need to win the world championship. She just needs to work with these baby faces and help get them over. The Candice LeRae's, the Indy Hartwells. There's an entire Raw women's roster full of these really talented women that we don't know shit about, that I'm hoping we have gotten a reset button pushed, because I don't for a second, ladies, and back me up on this, Iridian, I don't think for a second that it's a coincidence that we get a report that Ari Emanuel, the CEO of TKO, has removed Vince McMahon from any kind of creative position, given full power to Triple H, and all of a sudden we're getting 15, 16, 17 women on Monday Night Raw every week. You cannot tell me that's coincidental.
Oh, it's absolutely not coincidental. Like, Triple H, all the NXT people were his babies. He loves himself some women's matches. And of course, he's always done well to showcase the women. So here we are, now with more women's matches, and this is something that has to continue moving forward. Moving to Nia Jax maybe winning and getting that heat. I wouldn't hate that either, but you know, you got to do something with her. You can't just bring her back and have, you know, people boo her and then, okay, what we have to move the storyline somewhere with that, right? And I feel like you wouldn't be able to have a storyline with Nia right now. I think if anybody should have gotten that push, it should have been Shayna Baszler, because I always think back to that Elimination Chamber where the women were coming out and Shayna was absolutely alive. That was when you really had the time to push Shayna. And I feel like, all right, she can have another run like that. So if anybody were to possibly take that championship off of Rhea on Crown Jewel, I think it could easily, arguably, be Shayna Baszler.
Yep.
She has the most momentum. Of anybody not named Rhea Ripley, she has not lost. I was looking at this the other day. She hasn't lost a singles match in quite some time. Like, she hasn't been pinned. She hasn't been submitted. She just beat Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam, which is something that we went into ad nauseum in my conversation with her, that MMA rules match, including what she would have done differently for that match, by the way. Very, very simple changes that might have made it better. So, again, check that interview out. But she's got great momentum. She's now the baddest woman on the planet. Her coming in here, and I feel like this would be a great spot to have Shayna be in a position to win the match and then get screwed out of it. Like, she's got the match won, and then either like Nia takes her out or Rhea takes her out and capitalizes off of her work, her offense, and wins the matchup. Because coming out of this, Rhea also needs another opponent. Because that's why I kind of felt like, oh, this is cool, we're getting this fatal 5-way, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, so who's next up after this? Because y'all have just started your work of building up the rest of the division. Like, Xia Li ain't ready. Candice LeRae, as talented as she is, as far as like being built up with the audience, ain't anywhere close. You just had her get TKO'd in 2 minutes on Monday Night Raw, so she ain't ready for no Rhea Ripley. Neither is Indy Hartwell. These are your four that you have. These are the most built up, which are why they're in this match right now. You're saving Becky Lynch for WrestleMania. You got to have an opponent for Survivor Series. You got to have an opponent for whatever the December pay-per-view is, if there is one. You got to have an opponent for the Royal Rumble. So Shayna Baszler could be that. And you could build her up while still challenging Rhea Ripley. But yeah, I'd be with you. Like, I kind of want to see them put the title on her at some point. I don't think that it's happening. So she can constantly get screwed out of things, and you can protect her and give her the kind of the Roman Reigns treatment there. I'm with you. They should have put the damn belt on her at WrestleMania 36. Becky Lynch wanted to put the damn belt on her at WrestleMania 36, and instead you had Becky win in like the dumbest way possible, to where Shayna just like, oh, I got in the Kirifuda clutch, but oh, my shoulders were down for 3 seconds. What happened?
No.
Oh no, I'm an idiot. And then Becky's like, I'm pregnant, and like, okay, well, let's put the title on Asuka and take Shayna Baszler off TV during the middle of the pandemic. Like, what are we doing? Now, maybe she wanted to go off of TV. I don't know, but I digress. You did all of that build up. You destroyed the entire women's roster, and then it was like, no, we're going to keep it on Becky. Like, no, that was the time to take it off of Becky and push Shayna Baszler. I agree with you. They could still push Shayna Baszler. There are so many women on this roster they could push right now, but they're pushing Rhea Ripley. She's going to retain this title one way or another. We have Rey Mysterio defending his United States Championship against Mr. Social Media, Mr. YouTube, Mr. Superstar, Mr. Boxer, Mr. whatever the hell you want to call him, Mr. Energy Drink Salesman, Mr. I'm also getting sued for my energy drink salesman tactics, Logan Paul. Y'all look thrilled for this.
I'm asleep.
Iridian?
Not a fan. And also, I tried that water. It was not great. Just saying.
They are not a sponsor of the show. I don't even know what their name is, but they're not a sponsor. They're not giving me money. They're not giving any of us money. But, okay. You're not a fan, but do we get a new United States champion?
You got to be joking, Rick. You got to be joking. No, like, absolutely. Like, Rey is keeping that title. There's just no way. Oh my God. I don't know if it's my hate for Logan Paul that I'm absolutely just not a fan, that I'm like, no, this is not happening, but it's not happening. Cresta, it's not happening, right?
Hang on. Before you answer, Cresta, do you have somebody who's like drilling into your room right now, Iridian? Are you in a safe room? Are you okay? Like, what is happening?
Are you hearing construction? There's construction.
I thought I heard someone singing, but I didn't want to say nothing. I thought your little sister was letting it out. She had a song in her heart.
There's no songs. There is constructions. If you hear that.
Okay, yeah, that was definitely somebody with a saw in their hands, and I'm like, are they trying to break into Iridian's room right now? Like, what is going on? What is happening? All right, Cresta, what do you think about this match? Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio.
I don't think about this match. Not my.
They don't want us to talk about this match. Clearly. Clearly.
Take two. I don't think about this match.
You're crazy if you think I'm editing this. Like, this is an hour. This is going to be like an hour long. I ain't editing shit. This is going up in the raw, baby.
There is a saying. No, let's start that over. There are some constants in WWE, and one of them is if you really want to solidify you being a heel, is you turn on Rey Mysterio and you beat him up. It is quite possible that this is the shock. I don't care. I cannot, though there are not enough words in the human lexicon to describe how I do not care about Logan Paul in WWE. I don't care. That man, I know he's a draw. I know the them love it, but I do not care. Why is Rey Mysterio involved in this? He should be relegated to only wrestling The Miz or Austin Theory. I do not care. Why Rey Mysterio gotta be dragged into this? Like, because I think it's very possible, and I don't like this, but it is very possible that Rey Mysterio might actually lose just because Logan Paul may be staying around. If Logan Paul not staying around, great. But again, the them love him. I don't know why. Rey Mysterio all the way, but if there's going to be a shock, I think this could be it because Rey Mysterio is a good guy. Good guy, Rey. I don't like this. I do not care. I'm sleep.
You could play a million theme songs right now to me, and I would not be able to tell you which one is Logan Paul's.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I could, because it's the one that sounds like Apollo's. and Apollo ain't coming out because we ain't seen him since he's been drafted. So he's got like the same opening that Apollo's does. So like, again, I could pick that one out. But regardless, theme song or not, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you ladies. Logan Paul's winning this United States Championship.
That's what I was saying. Like, if there's anyone that's going to do a shock title or an Agent of Chaos, Rey Mysterio's like, listen, everyone should like wrestling. Rey Mysterio's a good guy, so he would be the one to do this. But I absolutely hate this. I don't want to see him. I mute his segments when he talks. Him hitting on Samantha Irvin. First of all, you could never knock it off. That's not even believable. Like, he's athletic. I'll give him his flowers. He's very athletic. He knows where to stand. He's better than a lot of other celebrities we've had. But me don't care. I'm sleep.
So the thing about Logan Paul is he, as far as like in-ring psychology goes, he is wise beyond his years. He knows how to soak in the moment. He knows how to placate to the crowd. He generates a reaction, much like a Nia Jax. So he knows what he's doing. He's a great heel. That 2 minutes that they try to make him a babyface, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? What stop
like
it.
Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, when you're a babyface, knock it off.
Yeah. Like, don't knock it off Triple H or whoever's like telling her, hey, go out there and be a babyface. The same thing with Ronda Rousey as a babyface. The same thing with Becky Lynch as a heel. You're swimming upstream. What the fuck are you doing? Like, stop trying to reinvent shit. Like, go with what works. Like, take the layups when they're available to you. You don't have a wide open layup and then you pick it up to the top of the key and chuck it up. All right? Like, what the hell are we doing? So, this is so obvious to me that Logan Paul is winning this match. He's going to win for all the reasons that WWE loves, because Logan Paul is going to get that shiny, beautiful United States Championship all over his YouTube channel, all over his boxing appearances. He's going to take it to it's like if they put it on Bad Bunny, right? It's no different. It's for all the positives that they put the United States Championship on Bad Bunny. Just Bad Bunny's not available because Bad Bunny's got an album and a tour that he's got coming up. So they're going to put it on a popular mainstream crossover guy ahead of what? WrestleMania.
Rick, let me ask you something.
Yes.
Let me ask you, for all of that, why not just hire Enzo Amore back? I'll just say it. At least the promos will be funny. Okay, for all of that.
Yeah, but Logan Paul can actually wrestle. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That's unfair of me. I haven't seen Enzo wrestle.
I am an Enzo apologist. When I first started watching wrestling, I was like, this guy is great. And everyone was
I
like,
like
that's
Enzo.
cool.
Like, I actually
can't
do.
wrestle.
That was an unfair shot. That was an unfair shot at Enzo. I haven't seen him perform in years, so I don't know. But I digress.
For all of that, I'd rather, for all the heat, I'd rather hire Enzo Amore back. Like, at least I know he's been tearing it up, and I know the promos are going to be good. Logan Paul, like you said, in-ring, great. But his promos, sometimes I'll be like, yo, dog, if some of these people really let loose on you, you're going to try to sue for defamation. Knock it off.
So here's my theory on this, right? You use Logan Paul as a heel to win that United States Championship to help get somebody else over. Somebody like a Santos Escobar, who they did not put the United States Championship on when he took it off. Rey Mysterio took it off of Austin Theory, right? So we're talking about a Logan Paul type-esque heel in Austin Theory. They had Rey Mysterio win the belt instead. Okay, so they're building up this tension between him and Rey, but it's not really working. It's not really going anywhere. Santos Escobar right now, as talented as he is, as much as I love the guy, as good as a guy he is, if you follow his exploits in social media, like, he's not where I think they would want him to be as far as an over thing. Like, he's wearing an LWO shirt and he gets cheered, but it's still, he's secondary to Rey Mysterio. So you can use Logan Paul, again, much like I said, Nia Jax with the women's division. Use Logan Paul to help get Santos Escobar over, and instead of Santos beating Austin Theory or Rey Mysterio for the title, he beats Logan Paul for the title, and now all of a sudden, everybody loves this man. That would be my thought process on it. Do I think that's what they're going to do? Hell no, I don't think that's what they're going to do.
That's the problem, Rick, because I'm thinking, like, that sounds great in theory, but you know what's going to happen? It's going to overstay its welcome. It's going to stonk, and by the time we get there, no one's going to care.
I know who's going to beat Logan Paul for the United States Championship, but
Rick?
I'll get there. I'll get there. The only saving grace that you ladies have is if Ricochet shows up and just takes out Logan Paul in this match. Because that's the only way Ricochet is going over to get his revenge, to get his, exact, what's the word I'm trying to look here, to fight for his woman's honor, shall we say. If he shows up to take out Logan Paul and cost him this match against Rey Mysterio, that's the out. That is the out. Because if I'll tell you this right now, Logan Paul's not winning this United States Championship to turn around and drop it to Ricochet. That ain't happening either.
Oh,
Ricochet is on this roster, and SP3 convinced me of this week. Ricochet is on this roster to put on banger matches and put other people over. That is where he is at right now.
That's
And rude.
Yes. Yes. Bro,
look, you need those people, though. That's not disrespect. It's not to say that his job doesn't have merit, but that's where he's at right now in his career. Until something else happens, until something changes that status quo, that's what we just have to expect out of him right now.
Isn't that crazy?
You ain't putting Ricochet over on Logan Paul.
That's so crazy, though, to think that this man was Mr. Gift 2018. Him and Will Ospreay doing that flippy do, like breaking people's brains literally, just for you to be like, Logan Paul. I hate this for him. We ride. We're going to Connecticut tomorrow. We ride at dawn.
We will get Logan Paul versus Ricochet for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. And that'll bring everything full circle for when their beef started at the Royal. If Ricochet doesn't cost Logan Paul that match, right? If Logan Paul's the United States champion, he's going to be the United States champion heading into WrestleMania. But I don't think he's going to face Ricochet at WrestleMania. I think he's going to face somebody else. We will get there. But Logan Paul is winning. He is going to win this United States championship.
I hate this for me and Iridian. I hate this for both of us.
Not here for it. You know, I really wish that this would have been a kind of match where, like, all right, Rey Mysterio comes out and already in the ring, Logan Paul.
You watch. Logan Paul is going to get the biggest entrance of anybody on this show. He's going to come out like Prince Ali and Aladdin. He is going to have
knock it off.
He's going to be on top of an elephant. He's going to have, girls dancing and flamethrowers and sword swallowers and all this shit. He's going to come out to the biggest pyro of anybody outside of Roman Reigns. This is what is going down. And that's what's going to go down. That's what's going to happen. They got this man deadline for WrestleMania.
Boo, boo this man, boo. You're making sense and we hate it.
Oh gosh. Our next matchup is one that is going to be good, but it's one that I'm like, can we please have these two dudes move on and do something else at this point? It is Cody Rhodes going one-on-one with Damian Priest. Damian Priest has heavily teased that he's going to be cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase this weekend. I don't know if that's the direction that we are going to go, but let's table that conversation for a brief moment here, because we'll talk about that when we talk about Drew and Seth here in a moment. But Iridian, I'll start with you. Cody Rhodes, he's back on the path to winning or finishing his story. At least that seems to be the case now. Damian Priest, he's on his own path. They're both got their eyes set on the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Universal Championship, one of the two. How do you see this match in particular going down?
First of all, I want to apologize personally to Cody Rhodes for everything that they've done dirty to him in WWE. Because, sir, you should have finished your story. I don't understand. Like, I was at WrestleMania and it's like, come on, man. I mean, the start was good. And then where did we go? Nowhere. Now we're with Damian Priest and Crown Jewel. No, nothing against Damian Priest because he's also fantastic. But what are we doing? What are we really doing?
Like, Brock Lesnar made sense, right? Brock Lesnar made sense. Okay, that was, even though the Raw after Mania was total dumpster ass, like except for that beatdown at the end, and we all know why it was. But like the whole Brock Lesnar story arc and the 3 matches against him, that was great. That was perfect. Since then, it feels like he's been in, okay, but what are we doing with him now mode? Let's just keep him on this train with Seth and Sammy and KO and somebody else who's been involved with the it's been the same group of like 4 dudes who've been fighting Judgment Day. I feel like this is leading into something at Survivor Series most likely, and that's when this will finally blow off. But yeah, it doesn't, until Jey Uso got involved, it never felt like Cody was on his way back. He felt like he was on a raft, and I've used this analogy a million times. It felt like he was on a raft in the middle of the sea, floating away from the island of relevancy. And now Jey Uso was his lifeline. That was his ticket back, and the tide has turned, and the current is heading for him right back to Roman Reigns. And we know this match is happening. They're not doing that Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes face off on SmackDown. If they're not paying this match off, we're not getting a rematch down the line. So he's back on it. We're heading toward that direction. This, to me, please, for the love of God, I don't know what they're doing with him between now and then, or how he gets to Roman Reigns. Is he winning the Royal Rumble again? I don't know. But I do think Cody is going to end up beating Damian in this match. At least he probably should. Like, Damian he's not bulletproof, but I mean, come on, Seth Rollins. Does anybody remember that Seth Rollins lost to Randy Orton the night that he cashed in at WrestleMania? Hell no. All anybody remembers is that stomp that turned into the RKO. That's it. And nobody even remembers that was on the same damn night. So Damian Priest doesn't need to win this match. I think Cody Rhodes needs to win this match to really get back on his path, Iridian.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody does need to get the win. And then this leads me to think like, okay, now Roman has to keep that title later the night, right? Because the end all be all needs to be Cody and Roman, because Cody couldn't do it the first time, which makes me sad because I love LA Knight. And that is the hottest star right now in WWE. We'll get to it. But
You will.
it's just Cody, it's just a sad situation because the whole thing was he's finishing his story. And now it's like we're getting 85 middle chapters and there's going to be 3 books. Like, no, I don't want it to take that long.
Cresta, your thoughts?
Honestly, adrenaline in his taint. Finish the story, Cody Kane. I don't know what we're doing. And I have to echo Iridian here. Poor LA Knight. You really should have given it to Cody when you had the chance. So now this should be Cody versus LA Knight, and that would be a banger. And an alternate timeline, Universe 813, maybe whatever. It's just a little frustrating because it's like, poor Damian, who really should be doing more with this Money in the Bank. Now you're honky-tonking with Cody, and this match is going to be great. But I feel like the outcome has to be Cody. Judgment Day shenanigans, okay, you've got an out. But what are we doing with Cody? Like, and then again, that one comes back to what are we doing with LA Knight? Because it has to be Cody versus Roman at this point. It has to be. But LA Knight is kind of like Becky Lynch was back when Ronda Rousey was there. It's like, yeah, you've got Cody Rhodes, who's your Ronda Rousey at this point. But Becky Lynch is too hot right now. So what you gonna do, brother? What are you gonna do? Now you kind of booked yourself into a corner because I'm going to skip ahead. I know LA Knight is losing. I'm upset about that. I'm very upset about that. But that being said, what are we now doing with Cody? You've got a good stacked roster. It's a good thing to have these problems. I just wish WWE would strike while the iron is hot, because they don't do that for a lot of things and a lot of people. And by the time they do strike, people are like, yeah, but, you know.
Look, there's a lot of people you could say that. What are we doing with Sami Zayn? This is the guy who said, hey, look, I'm out to prove that I have world title aspiration. Like, I'm a world title challenge contender. It's like, okay, are you going to be the world heavyweight champion? Is it going to be you and Damian Priest for the world heavyweight title at WrestleMania? I don't know. Possibly, maybe, could be. Are we really going to stretch Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline out until WrestleMania? God, I hope not. But if that's the end all be all, okay, possibly you could sign me up for that. What are we doing with Kevin Owens? Could it be Kevin Owens and Logan Paul at WrestleMania? They teased Kevin Owens being involved with Logan Paul.
Logan Paul should have been on a pre-show.
Oh, you know Logan Paul is going to get like the second to last match on night 2. Like, you know that's happening. You know it. Now I'm just I'm just trying to poke the bear.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Hey, what if we did Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny for the United States title?
Oh my God!
I say the crowd will riot, Logan Paul is going to feel what Ronda Rousey felt when the crowd turned on her, when they were like, we want Becky. Sorry about it, sweets. You going to have to get into this.
All I'm going to say about that is Bad Bunny fans, we be fighting in the concerts, okay? So I have no reason to believe that at a wrestling show, hands would not be thrown.
Logan Paul better lose. He better lose. That's what I got to say. He better lose. Because if he don't lose, he not leaving that arena. They better stick him out the back. He better lose.
Somebody will get stabbed in that crowd. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Logan Paul.
Another guy, Gunther. What are we doing with Gunther at WrestleMania? Is he, at this point, I think he's going to be the Intercontinental Champion. Like, honestly, leading up until WrestleMania. So who's his opponent? So there's a number of guys I can sit here and say, well, what are we doing? What are we doing with main event Jey Uso? There's another guy who is massively over
Bobby
right
Lashley.
now. There's a lot of people. Look, WWE has a great problem right now.
Yeah.
But it just, look, Cody's the guy. Cody should have been the guy. Cody is the guy. So, yeah, what do you do with LA Knight? What do you do with Drew McIntyre, for an example here, as he gets ready to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship? By the way, we're all picking Cody in that last match, right?
Yeah. I'm picking Cody. Sorry, listen, I like you, Damian, but there's not enough Judgment Day shenanigans that's gonna stop this Cody trade to lose the Roman again.
There is nobody, ladies, who overcomes adversity like Cody Rhodes. All right. This man, like it's like Cody Rhodes like plays running back for the NFL coach who just loves to run halfback dive. Like, they run the same play over and over again, and it's Cody gets hurt and he's got to fight through an injury and fight through like 4 different dudes, and he's going to come out on top, and he still can't beat Roman Reigns. But still, they're going to run that play. He's got an injured ankle. He's going to be hobbled. He's going to have to fight through the odds. He'll get help from Jey Uso. He'll get help from Sami Zayn. He'll get help from Kevin Owens. Everybody who's all pissed off. They'll set up the Survivor Series matchup with this match, but Cody Rhodes is winning it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry,
Triple H is going to be all on his bullshit on this one for sure. Anyway, back to this matchup. Our World Heavyweight Championship on the line. I feel like they could quell any thoughts about a cash-in in this match if they do Damian and Cody right before this. Now, I think that the Damian Cody match could possibly kick off the show, in which case you leave people guessing. And I think that's what WWE is going to want to do. They're going to want to leave people guessing. This one, to me, I genuinely don't know. Seth could retain. Drew could win it. Seth could retain. Drew could kick his ass afterwards, go full heel turn, and then Damian Priest could cash in. I think any 3 of those guys, Damian, Drew, and Seth, could walk away with the World Heavyweight Championship this weekend. This, to me, it's Aces Wild. Like, I don't know, Iridian. I don't know. What are you feeling? What's your gut
Yeah.
tell you?
Yeah, I think that Drew McIntyre is a very worthy of being champion. You know, he's been a great champion before. And the fact that Rhea was trying to recruit Seth for the Judgment Day, that is just all hilarious because she's trying to one up the people, right? She's like, all right, you know, we don't have to cash in on you. We can cash in on anybody else. Don't worry, Seth, just come in. And I don't know if that's going to play a factor at Crown Jewel. I think Judgment Day will maybe stay out of this one. And I think Seth will keep the championship. I love Drew, but it's like also, okay, you give the title to Drew, then what do we do with this? What's happening? And I feel like right now, Seth is still on kind of a high. He's the best dressed wrestler in WWE. That man serves looks every single week. So he's just super entertaining to watch. And I don't know if Drew has that fire right now. So I'm gonna go with Seth on this one.
Cresta, thoughts?
I think it truly depends on how the rest of the night goes. If there are shenanigans, I could see Drew winning or Damian cashing in. If this is not canon, we're here to get paid, Seth is absolutely winning. It depends, because this is not the first, second, or third match. I know this is going to be closer towards the end of the card. So I agree with what you said, Rick. Like, it's up in the air. I want to believe Seth will win, but if there were shenanigans prior, it is very possible Seth doesn't walk out of Saudi Arabia with the title. I'm just not sure. So I got to see how the rest of this shakes out, because again, if there's shenanigans, Seth could absolutely lose. But if there's no shenanigans, Seth retains, but Drew goes berserk.
And that's if Seth retains. So here's my thing right here. This is kind of where I've decided. I'm picking Seth to lose. I'm not picking a winner. I'm picking Seth to lose. Either Seth beats Drew, and then, like you said, Krista, he goes berserk and just breaks the man in half, and then Damian Priest picks the bones and walks away with the World Heavyweight Championship, or Drew is winning the World Heavyweight Championship. So my selection is Seth Rollins is losing. This is kind of his MO.
That's a good answer.
It would not be the first time that he has flown halfway across the world and came back empty-handed. Okay, we have seen him lose in Saudi before. We are going to see him lose in Saudi again. He may also win, but I do not think that this man is going to be going through security at the Saudi Arabia airport. Do they have security in the Saudi Arabia airport? I don't know. But this man is not going through TSA checkpoint with a World Heavyweight Championship in the terminal when he gets back to the United States. Like that, Damian Priest is going to be walking away maybe with 3 belts, or Drew McIntyre is coming back with it. I think that World Heavyweight Championship was made for Drew McIntyre's big, broad, just perfect pec, right? Like, I think it goes perfect, like right there. It looks like it should be forged on him. And this is like the path that he needs, because I look at Seth and I go, okay, he retains. What's next? Does Drew kick his ass and we're going to restart the whole thing that we just did with Shinsuke Nakamura, where he beat Nakamura, then he gets attacked after the match, and now he's got to have another match with Shinsuke Nakamura? Are we really going to run that same play with Drew McIntyre? Or you're trying to re-sign Drew, right? Give this man something of substance to sink his teeth into and let him know you're behind his ass. Put that World Heavyweight Championship on him, which guess what? Guess who he's going to have to now feud with? The Judgment Day. So yeah, please put that world title on Drew McIntyre, because of all the people on the Raw roster, I'll take Drew McIntyre feuding with Judgment Day, because he hasn't been feuding with him for the last 4 months.
That's not a bad call either. And I don't think that Seth Rollins gets hurt by dropping that title. He's so over. He's so over. Seth Rollins has been, since I've been watching 2018, Seth Rollins has been over the entire time. The entire time, with or without the belt. And I like seeing Seth a little bit unhinged. He's been on his high, I don't care, sort of situation. So it would be nice to see him just go, not bum-ass Baron Corbin, but kind of like, I don't care about these clothes. I want my title back. And I'm going to show you why I was the Kingslayer, why I was the Beast Slayer. I'm going to show you why all of those names were my name. I was the architect for a reason. This is just because I was having fun. Let me get serious for a minute. I would love to see that. But again, you make a good point. Poor said Seth is not walking through TSA pre-check with that title. You're a clown for that.
I don't think it's happening. I wanted to see it with Nakamura, but I'll take it here with Drew. I want to see the Dark Knight Rises story with Seth Rollins. I want this, like, the whole story is he's riding it until the wheels fall off, until his back breaks. Okay, Drew, break his back, win the world championship, and then have Seth
break his back.
break his damn back, not literally, storyline wise. Break his back, and then have the Dark Knight Rises, where, Bruce Wayne has to nurse himself back to health and come back and beat Bane. Drew McIntyre's the perfect Bane. Like, there's your story. Just go watch the Dark Knight Rises. It was all laid out right there perfectly for you. You can do a massive street fight at the end if you really want to at the Royal Rumble, whatever you got to do. But if Seth is, like, in real life having some back problems, give him some time off before WrestleMania season. Right? The Raw roster is freaking stacked right now. You could play up a whole angle here, have Seth take a couple of months off, come back at the end of December. In time, you could do him and Drew at the Royal Rumble, see where Drew's contract status is at that point, and if he's re-signed, great. Maybe you keep it on him all the way up through WrestleMania season. If not, you put it back on Seth. Batman has risen, and we can work our way to Seth and Sami Zayn for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, or whatever the hell that we're going to end up doing.
The LA Net Consolation Prize.
Oh, I don't think that's going to be that title at all. We got 2 matches left to predict. Ladies, for the WWE Women's Championship, it is Io Sky defending her title against Bianca Belair, and I'd like to start off here, Iridian, by going back in time, if I can, for just a minute. We all remember when Nikki ASH at the time cashed in her Money in the Bank briefcase on Charlotte Flair on Monday Night Raw, the night after Money in the Bank, and she became the Raw Women's Champion. For 5 weeks, she ran around, and people were saying, the storyline was, does she deserve it? Does she deserve it? She's the women's champion, but is she really women's championship material? And that's a fine story, as long as she overcomes Charlotte in the end. She did not. She lost at SummerSlam. Great match. Honestly, I thought those 5 weeks were the best in-ring work that Nikki ASH has done. She proved herself as a champion multiple times over in those 5 weeks. They did not get behind her. They put the title racket right back on Charlotte. And now Nikki is catatonic in Pumpkinheads, right? Like, that's where she's at in her career. At least she's on TV again. Thank you, Triple H, for that, because Nikki Cross is awesome. But let's fast forward to the next year. Liv Morgan cashes in Money in the Bank on the same night, beats Ronda Rousey. Oh my God, what's the same exact story that we're telling you? Oh, did Liv Morgan really earn it? Is she really championship material? Can she beat Ronda Rousey? Well, no, actually, she didn't really beat Ronda Rousey at all. She actually got her ass whooped, tapped out. The ref didn't see it. And after she said she wouldn't quit, by the way, she tapped out and then barely beat Ronda Rousey. She did beat Shayna Baszler in somewhere overseas. I forget which overseas. I think it was Clash at the Castle. So she beats her in the UK, and then she comes right back. She's facing Ronda Rousey again, and guess what? She drops the title right back to Ronda Rousey again. So for the last 2 Money in the Bank winners, it has been cash in on the champion, and then when you get a chance to solidify your title reign by beating the champion for real this time in a one-on-one fair fight, they couldn't do it. Iridian, is history going to repeat itself for a third time as Io Sky defends her title against Bianca Belair in Saudi Arabia?
I'm stressed, right? Because
y'all had no idea where I was going with that, did you?
Not that I'm stressed.
I'm stressed with this one because Bianca just came back. And, if Io's trying to make herself or seen as like a strong champion, which she absolutely is, right? But like, I feel like in these cases, you got to keep proving yourself. And Bianca Belair had the longest run. So if Io doesn't beat Bianca, then that kind of, I don't want to say it like eliminates all of Io's run, but like, will it kind of? I think a little bit. So I think that Io absolutely needs to get the win in this one. But Bianca just came back, so that's why I'm just confused. Like, who are they going to give it to? Like, Bianca's, I don't want to say she's going to look weak if she loses, but she's going to look weak. So I'm just confused. I honestly don't want this match to happen.
So who are you picking,
That's
though?
real.
I think Io. I think Io's going to take it. And the only reason I don't want this match to happen is because I have to pick a winner and a loser. So I think Io's going to.
We all win because we get to watch the match, right? So we get to have fun on the roller coaster.
Very true.
It just all depends on if we're going to get, the safe landing on the roller coaster, or this is going to be Final Destination 3. Cresta, what are you thinking?
I mean, I have the same thoughts. I was like, damn, Io, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. It was great. But my problem, I feel like, especially with Damage Control being will they, won't they break up, I could see Damage Control coming out trying to help. It end up screwing her over. And then Io's like, I've had it, especially with you, Bailey. Especially with you, Bailey.
I am not going to sit here and take that slander. I am not. Bailey has been the MVP of Io Sky's title run, and I will hear none of that horseshit.
I agree. But the way Io Sky be looking at Bailey is like, why are you out here? I told you to stay in the back. And Bailey's like, I helped you. I literally helped you. And Io's like, I don't care. Why are you out here, bro? Like, do you not think I could handle it? Do you not think I can? Because there's been times Bailey has screwed it up for them before Io became champion. She was like, yo, why are you out here? Why are you out here, bro? I could see that. But I like Io Sky. I do. I liked Io Sky since she was Io Shirai. But Bianca, she on her own against the wall. She taking it off of you, sis. And it's no shade. Bianca is not someone you be like, damn, I can't believe I lost to Bianca. Bianca's good. She's great. But I think the way that happens is Damage Control tries to help specifically Bailey. And Io's like, I've had it with you. And Dakota's like, please stop fighting. And Io's like, I'm not. And then she hits her. And that's how we break up Damage Control. Because they've been teasing it for a long time. I don't know if they do that kind of thing in, the Saudi Arabia matches. I don't know if they're going to do like the screwy finish. But I think that protects Io. You clearly want Bianca to be champion again. So, I don't know. That's my thought process.
All right. So, we talked about a number of people of what are we doing with them at WrestleMania. Right now, I'm kind of there with Bianca. Like, what are we doing with her at WrestleMania? Because she is on an unprecedented streak as far as the ladies are concerned. She has had 3 consecutive singles championship match victories at WrestleMania. That is a hell of a streak. I don't know anybody else who has had that. Not only that, she's won all 3 of them. She's won all 3 of them. It's like, I don't know. Does she have a 4th one in her? Or do they go for a different, angle? And that's kind of where I'm hoping they go with that. Because as much as I love Bianca, you can do a one-on-one match for Bianca. Ladies, I don't know if you know this, but WrestleMania is 2 nights now. That to me, we could get 6 women's matches on this damn show if you really
calm down, Rick. Calm down. You're so crazy.
If you really wanted to do it,
you can
do
Rick.
it. You could do 10 men's matches and 6 women's matches. And it's possible. And guess what? You still almost have twice as many men's matches. So
Rick, calm down. Calm down, Rick.
They're going to send the feds to your house immediately.
There has been a helicopter that's been flying around my house for like the last few days. I feel like the dude in Goodfellas right now who's like, I'm not dealing drugs, I swear to God. Anyway, that you guys know about. But anyway, so what I want to happen is I want Bailey to come down. I want Bailey to try to help, mess up, make you feel like Bianca's about to take this. And then Charlotte gets in the ring, heel turn, takes out Bianca Belair, and we set up Charlotte versus Bianca for WrestleMania without the title because that match does not need a championship. Those are 2 huge cornerstone stars of the women's division. That is a Rock Austin level main event type match that you do not need a championship for. You do not. It does not, like, putting a belt in that match takes a women's match off the card because Bianca and Charlotte's getting on a WrestleMania card, whether it has a title or not. If Io Sky drops the women's championship, I don't know what Io Sky is doing at WrestleMania unless it's her and Bailey competing for the tag team titles. Been there, done that, seen it, bought the t-shirt. All right. Like if anything, if you're going to split up Damage Control, Bailey and Io needs to be the WrestleMania match 1-on-1 for the WWE Women's Championship.
Agreed.
Then you can do Bianca and Charlotte one-on-one at WrestleMania as just a big-time bout. And then we're also getting Becky and Rhea. Holy shit, those are 3 big-time one-on-one women's matches at WrestleMania.
I'll take it further than that. You could even add Jade Cargill to that mix, because y'all been teasing Cargill versus Charlotte, and this way you don't mess up nobody else's title plans. You get another woman on the card, because you bet your bottom dollar Jade Cargill gonna be on WrestleMania.
Oh,
so
well, Jade Cargill is going to be defending the NXT Women's Championship on WrestleMania. So that's
Goodbye. You said.
I'm sick of you.
I'm sick of all of this bad energy that you're sending, Rick. Okay.
What? That's not a knock. She needs to be in NXT to start off.
I don't want. It's kind of like Ronda Rousey. While I agree with you too on this level, you spent too much money on this woman. You've built her up too much to be a star to send her to developmental. You've made your bed, WWE. You better push this woman. If we can make matches for people who don't know what's going, if Becky Lynch can yell at Lacey Evans where to stand, we can get a match for Jade Cargill who's better than that. Knock it off. Knock it off. She ain't going no goddamn NXT. Why'd you do that then? Why you got her beefing with Pierce? Knock it off. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
Nah, she can't beat Becky. She's not going to get her match with Becky. She's going to get her match with Becky's anointed next star of NXT, and Jade is going to
versus Bianca. I don't care how it happens. I need
why would you to steal a phrase? I'm sorry, this is going to sound crass, right? And this is an SP3 line. This is not mine. Why are you going to shoot your wad off that early, putting Bianca and Jade Cargill at WrestleMania? You have to understand something, ladies.
It's for me.
You have to understand something, okay? Jade Cargill, for a good portion of the WWE audience, they don't know who she is. When she came, and I trust me on this one, when she got out, I was in the crowd at, what was the one in Indy? At Fastlane. When she came out of the car and she was talking to Triple H, nobody in my section knew who she was. They were literally asking, who is that woman? And I'm like, are you guys being serious? Like, the guy next to me did like the Snoop Dogg. He was like, who? Who is that? And I just thought he was being a disrespectful ass. No, he had no idea, because they don't watch AEW. So they don't know what Jade Cargill has done.
They got 6 months to build her up for this Mania match. Start tomorrow. Yes.
They are doing exactly what they need to do with Jade Cargill. They are sprinkling her in. They are slow playing her. They are like, look at this attraction. Look at this woman who is just sitting. Like, people are curious about her, and she ain't done shit yet. Like, people are Googling her, and she ain't done shit. They're doing exactly what they need to do with Jade Cargill right now. Just slow your roll. Slowly roll. Now, anyway, I said all of that to say Bianca Belair is winning this damn match. All right. Anyway, we get to our main event. Spoiler alert, Roman Reigns is winning. He is defending and walking out still as the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, or whatever the hell they call that lengthy ass. I can't wait for him to drop it just so it can be the WWE Championship again. But no, Roman Reigns' title lineage started with the Universal Championship, so we still got to keep Universal in the fucking title, and it's a goddamn mouthful. He's defending the WWE Championship against LA Knight. In any other universe, it would be perfect business to have LA Knight win this championship. And right now, it's just not, unfortunately. LA Knight is the right guy with the right push at the wrong time. And it's not the time. It's not LA Knight's time. It's not, unfortunately. But what's important here, Iridian, is his performance. Everything with LA Knight over the last few months has been a test. Okay, we're going to go out there. We're going to give you a win at SummerSlam. Let's see how you perform on the stage. Let's see how the crowd reacts for you. I was there in Detroit. There were people screaming "yeah" in the streets of downtown Detroit from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock when the doors opened. All right. Like, he was the most over dude in the entire arena that night. Okay. Test number 1 passed. Okay. We're going to give you a one-on-one. We're going to give you your first actual story and your first actual feud with The Miz. And it was great. Test passed. We're going to give you a pay-per-view match. Test passed. We're going to give you a program with John Cena. Test passed. We're going to put you in the ring with Roman Reigns and John Cena. Do you belong there? Do you pass the eyeball test? Yeah. Hell yeah, he does. Okay, we're going to give you a contract signing. We're going to give you a promo exchange with Roman Reigns. Test passed. And now the last thing that you need to check off that list before you know, okay, yeah, LA Knight's our guy. We're going to send him into the upper stratosphere. Is can he go out there and put on a great performance? Can he have a great match? Because that is not what he has done yet. Now, his matches haven't been bad, but there's nothing that stands out to me and going, I need to rewatch that motherfucking match right now. He ain't had that quote-unquote 5-star classic. This is his opportunity to do it. We'll see if he passes that test and he gets another title opportunity later down the line. So that's his test. The test for Triple H is, Iridian, how does LA Knight lose this damn match? Because it better not be the rinse and repeat bullshit of here comes Solo, here comes Jimmy. Oh man, dumb babyface syndrome strikes again, and we get a distraction, and here comes a spear, and it's 1, 2, 3. Can't do it. Cannot do it. That does not do anything for LA Knight whatsoever. I don't usually agree with some of Bully Ray's takes when it comes to wrestling today, but I'm listening to him on Busted Open, and he's talking about how you have to pull this Stone Cold Steve Austin. You have to have this man not give up, fight to the bitter end, pass out, Crimson Mask, have Roman Reigns beat this man with the guillotine, maybe even after he gets screwed over a little bit, but you cannot have him get pinned. You cannot have him give up. You have to keep the people hungry, and you have to give the people a reason for them to continue to believe in LA Knight, who so far has been bulletproof. This man survived Max Dupree. This man survived looking like a punk against Bray Wyatt at Royal Rumble. This man survived not getting an LA WrestleMania match. He has been bulletproof so far. Don't test that bulletproof theory against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. I'm begging you, Iridian. What do you think?
You know what? In this situation, Triple H is Doctor Strange and LA Knight is Iron Man, right? Because in any other situation, we would have won. We would have had LA Knight win. And I'm so sorry. You got to go, LA Knight. It's not happening. Roman is keeping that championship. And it sucks, right? Because LA Knight has been the hottest star in WWE. Every other sentence, the WWE universe is in there. Yeah. Yeah. Like I do that at home sometimes. I'm just it's just he has been such a crowd favorite, and it's been so easy to like him. And now what are we going to do? We have to give it to Roman. And it sucks because, again, Cody needs to finish his story. If he would have done that last time, we could have gotten LA Knight as champion. And he has been so good at holding his own. That promo that he had with Roman Reigns, when he walked past Roman Reigns in the middle of his entrance, that is iconic. Roman was looking like, what's happening? Is somebody coming out here right now during my entrance? And LA Knight didn't even look his way. That man is a star. So I know his flame is not going to be put out if he takes the L, but I'm just worried because what is the storyline going to be afterwards? You can't just have LA Knight in these regular matches. You need to have him on the road towards a championship, right?
Cresta, before we get your thoughts, I just want to go ahead and tell you exactly where LA Knight is headed. To Philadelphia, WrestleMania 40 to fight Logan Paul for the United States Championship. Anyway, Cresta, your thoughts.
You like to piss me off. I lost my whole chain of thought. All I want to do is cuss you. All I want to do is cuss you, Rick. No, I agree with everything you guys have been saying. It's unfortunate. It is the right guy with the right push against the wrong person at the wrong time. I am so happy and so proud of Roman Reigns for what he has done. Roman Reigns was literally eating dog food years ago, and now he's had the longest, most phenomenal run of his life, getting booed for just opening the show, and now getting booed probably for being a scumbag. I think WWE booked themselves into a corner by putting both championships on him. I think they've had 3 outs, and because you didn't take those outs, now we're at the point like, yikes, what do we do? What do we do now?
They had 4.
You've had so many outs where it wouldn't have affected Roman's legacy. I think Roman still could have been a contender, and somebody else would have gotten a very good rub. It could have been Kevin Owens. It could have been Drew. It could have been Sammy. It could have been Cody. It should have been Cody. It should have been Sammy. It could have been Jay. There's so many people you could have done where now that you have an LA Knight situation who really...
It could have been Logan Paul. Sorry.
Yo, you're pissing me off. Stop this. I'd rather it be Bad Bunny. You know what I mean? It could have been somebody else. Well, now that you have an LA Knight situation like you had with Becky Lynch, you have someone who's insanely over. Strike while the iron is hot. Bro, I believe that they would actually do Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the US title, and LA Knight won't sniff that main event scene ever again. And I don't think it's for the lack of trying, but sometimes if you don't strike while the iron is hot, by the time you do strike, people are like, I don't care. It's unfortunate. LA Knight is so over now. But like Roman Reigns at this point is solidified himself to you're not beating me, bro. That's not happening. Like, I feel so bad for LA Knight. I would be gooped, gagged. I'd be like, if he won it. But I don't think that's happening. What I really think is going to happen, like you said, what Bully Ray said, that's a good point. He should pass out. Crimson Mask, but I don't think it's going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to get a debut of another Oos. That's probably, we'll probably get another Oos before LA Knight pin Roman Reigns. So Damian Priest might come out. Who knows?
Yeah, Damian Priest could screw things up. So the other thing that I was talking about with SP3 earlier this week that I would love to see happen, right, is to have LA Knight win but not win. To pull the Chris Jericho Triple H thing, right? You remember that it was that match on Monday Night Raw before Chris Jericho ever won a world title, like back when people just looked at him as like the Intercontinental Champion mid-card guy. And they started doing him and Stephanie and rolled into Triple H. And there was that moment on Monday Night Raw where he rolled up Triple H and the ref did the quick 3 count and he won the world championship, but he didn't. But the crowd that night lost their fucking mind because they thought Chris Jericho just beat Triple H in the opening match on Monday Night Raw for the WWE Championship.
That's a good point.
Can we do something like that? Can we do something like that where whether it's the ref or whether there's a foot on the rope or something like that, where LA Knight wins, where he beats him, but he doesn't win, and the crowd loses their mind, and he's celebrating with the championship, and then Nick Aldis comes down, and Nick Aldis says, "Look, this is not the popular call, but I'm not going to allow this to happen on my brand." We don't know what kind of you were talking about a Nick Aldis, and he doesn't have to be like the heel authority figure. He just has to be the guy who's calling it down the middle and is just being fair. But unfortunately, it favors the Empire in this situation, right? It favors Roman Reigns. And then that could create a whole different level of storylines of where LA Knight doesn't trust Nick Aldis. And, you know, there's
Survivor Series.
It could be very, very nuanced about this, right? And now Nick Aldis is like trying to like convince LA Knight that it's like, hey, we're cool, we're fine. I'm sorry I had to do it, but I had to do it. I'm not going to be that kind of general manager to let that shit slide on my watch. You could have Nick Aldis come down there and have the match restart, and then LA Knight loses. But just give people the little nugget, the little appetizer of LA Knight beating Roman Reigns, but he didn't really beat Roman Reigns.
If that's going to be the case, you got to get the shot of LA Knight after this happens, like foot on the rope or whatever. He's got to hold that belt. You got to get the shot of him with the belt. He's got it over his head, and then the general manager's music plays, and you're just like, what? Okay,
and you got to like really trick people. You gotta put the lower third in. You gotta pull the whole NXT thing where you think the show's about to go off the air, and then Nick Aldis's music hits, and it says, "We're not ending the show that way. We cannot have this historic title. We cannot have this historic title reign end in controversy."
Could you imagine the confetti's coming down?
Not the confetti
again, and then, oh man.
Like, man, same thing. Remember they did that to Daniel Bryan, and then Triple H had Sheamus cash in on him. He gets pinned in the middle. The man made a snow angel out of Bryan Danielson in the middle of that confetti and pinned him with the Brogue Kick. Like, there's so many great controversial ways that you could close out this show and have people more behind LA Knight than ever before, to where you could launch him into the stratosphere and say, okay, you can have LA Knight win the Royal Rumble now and challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. You could have him do that in some way. Why he would choose the World Heavyweight title over getting a rematch with Roman Reigns, I don't know. You know, that mental gymnastics, I'm not equipped at this point to try to figure that out. But, right, like, maybe Cody just goes to a man-to-man and says, hey, look, he's mine. right? Like he's fucking mine. Like
they're gonna make Cody and LA Knight fight for it, and I don't like that. And it's only gonna be one winner, because right after they screw LA Knight out, Roman Reigns gonna beat him up, look in the camera, and say, "I don't know what you thought. I'm the head of the table. What were you thinking?" And then that next week's like, "I'm not giving nobody challenges, but y'all two fight for it, and whoever wins, the other person can't challenge for the title again." And that's where I see that realistically going. That's going to piss me off.
We can't have that stipulation, because Cody did that in AEW. He's like, all right, if I lose, I'm not challenging for title.
Oh, what
and
an
then look what
idiot.
happened. No.
No, and look, you can't have your two challengers at WrestleMania fight each other before WrestleMania and have one of them lose. You can't.
Exactly. Come on now, but
and then you know what would happen? You know what would happen? They'd have Cody win that match. LA Knight would lose. LA Knight would win his title at WrestleMania, and then Cody would lose to Roman again. Like that's the kind of bass booking that WWE would do. Look, and again, I said all of that to sit here and say Roman Reigns is going to win because Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso are going to get involved, and LA Knight is going to get some dumb babyface level syndrome bullshit. He's going to get hit with like his fourth spear of the match, and he's going to get pinned, and it's not going to do him any good.
Where's Maximum Male Models? They need to help out Max Dupree.
They are unemployed. So that's where they are at right now. They were both released. And his sister, Maxine Dupree, ain't doing shit for him. So
the Alpha Academy got their own problems. They trying to Akira Tozawa.
She if Ivy Nile got involved, Maxine would come out and help, but that don't make no damn sense. So
Ivy Nile would beat up Max. We see what she did to Akira Tozawa. Sorry, Maxine. You're probably a lovely person.
Man, I love Tozawa. And the fact that this man is just going out there and he will literally put anybody over. And I mean anybody. Like he is like he's like the MVP, like one of the MVPs of the women's division, if you really think about it. Like he's one of these dudes that'll go out there and he'll lose to Rhea Ripley, he'll lose to Charlotte Flair, like he'll run away from Nia Jax because he's scared. Like that man has built out a nice little niche for himself, all stemming off the 24/7 title division and what he did there. So like I love Tozawa. He's great.
Coming to the stage, 10 tapping toes. He's top face Suicida, Jabba to the stars, Akira Tozawa.
I missed this so much. Iridian, tell the folks what you got going on.
Well, you can find me every Saturday. You can find us on the Fightful post show right after Collision. We are your favorite colliders. Love to see it. And you can follow me on YouTube at Rest Friends and Iridian_Fierro for everything else, just like it says right here. Yeah.
Cresta
the Star. Every Thursday and Saturday, I'm over on Fightful. Thursdays, I'm with Joel Pro. We go over all things Impact / TNA wrestling. Saturdays, these three lovely humans you see on your screen. We go over everything Collision. Mondays, Wednesdays, not Fridays anymore because my life is hell. Mondays and Wednesdays, you can find me on Twitch or TikTok at Cresta Starr and this honking car outside, even though I'm on the 4th floor. If that was a lot for you, Cresta the Star on X, Twitter, whatever you guys call it. There's a link tree in my bio. Rick, I guess, where can the people find you in this beautiful podcast?
I was gonna say X Twitter. Is that a new website that I don't know about? Is that like
some
Twitter
people still call it Twitter? Some people call it X. I'm not calling it X.com because you might go somewhere else, and I don't want to be blamed for that. So,
yeah, I'm not looking at my search history with the X in front of it.
Exactly.
Anyway, so we will go just one-stop shop at Rick Ucchino, RICKUCCHINO. That's my Instagram. That's my Twitter /X/ whatever the fuck you want to call it. Threads. That's still a thing, even though I haven't used it in like 2 months. That's where you can find all of my interviews and articles, which again, shameless plug, had Shayna Baszler on the channel this week. Wrote about the entire thing for CageSideSeats.com. If you care about my work covering the Bengals, Reds, or local Cincinnati type stuff for 700 WLW iHeartRadio, it's all there on the Twitter. Just follow me. And of course, subscribe to Believe in Pro Wrestling. Thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate you two for joining me today. This was fun. I appreciate everybody who listened on the podcast channel. Believe in Pro Wrestling, available wherever podcasts are, or watched here on the YouTube channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. We'll talk to you all next week. This has been the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast, brought to you by Bet Online.